Welcome to Ravi Shree's University YouTube channel.
Welcome, dear viewers. This is Rakesh here with a splendid initiative by Ravi Shree University introducing ourselves into Day 11 class on English Coffee House. Today we are going to learn a topic on conditional clauses in English. Well, conditional clauses, when we speak, talks about conditions that we apply, we put forth under the category of if or unless. In my simple understanding of the word condition, it gives me a minimum understanding or a base level of learning saying that if you do this, you get that. But grammatically speaking, right, there are also application of tenses by way, if we say, if you do this, you will get that. So, to make a note, we have 4 conditional clauses. We call them technically or by structure as type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. Let us go into each of these types, right? Well, many people quote type 4 as zero condition and may not be considered a type, but to our learning and understanding, we can put it as a type 4 condition as well. So what are these 4 types of conditions? The first one is type 1, which goes this way. If I give you a simple statement, study well, score well. If connect these 2 sentences or clauses using if. So, if you study well, you will score well. So, if you study well, if plus simple present tense, comma, if you study well, comma, you will score well. You will score well is simple future. Thus, my type 1 is if plus simple present, comma, and the main clause goes in futuristic tense. That can be followed with you can score well, you may score well, you shall score well, you will score well, whichever the way you might put it. But the condition is as futuristic in tense. Type 1 is the most common thing which we come across, right? If you eat well, you will be healthy. Just for an understanding. We'll go into the type 2 condition. Type 2 condition is, in other words, called as hypothetical condition or imaginary condition. Hypothetical. Hypo means above my mind. Hyper, we use the word, right? Above, right? So, above my imagination. So, there is hardly any possibility at all. Impossible. Or I only just dream. So, if I use a sentence like, in a B form, I am not God, I can't stop the rain. I am not God, I can't stop the rain. Connect these 2 using if condition. So, if I were God, I could or would stop the rain. Can I be God? 100% not possible. It's only an imaginary condition. So, imaginary condition goes with the tense called if I were. Underline the word is were, as I used be form, and this were goes with either the subject can be third person, first person, or even the second person goes with verb only. He is not my brother, I cannot advise him. He is not my brother, I cannot advise him. If he were my brother, I could advise him. If he were my brother, I could advise him. So the conditional clause here is imaginative, or rather hypothetical. I can also use in a have form of verb as well. Namely, in the have form of verb, I don't have a car, I cannot drop you today. In a have form. So, as per my condition statement which I used earlier, the same application here as well. If I had a car, I could drop you today. If we observe all the three forms, be form, do form, or have form, we learn that if plus I were, right? If plus I were, be form. If plus I had, have form. If plus we too, if it is do form, comma, the main clause goes with I would, I could, or you would, or you could, he, she, it could or would. Let's go into the type 3 condition. The most used condition when we regret having not done something and we make a statement. Or even when we think about a past action which already happened, which you have thought to happen in other form. For example, I didn't study well, I didn't score well. The action already passed. It went away. But what is my other probability that I can think here? If I had studied well, I would have or could have scored well. I'll repeat the statement. If I had studied well, I would have or could have scored well. We didn't play well, we didn't win the match. If we had played well, we could have won the match. If we had played well, we could have won the match. So look at this structure here. The if clause takes with had plus V3, had plus V3, and the main clause goes again in would have done. We would have done, should have done, whatever it is, would have, would plus have plus V3. Type 4 or 0 condition. 0 condition refers to usage of tense as present or simple present alone in if clause as well as the main clause. What are the examples used in, what are the regular statements that we come across in 0 conditions? 0 condition statements are generally factual input or scientific facts or universally known things. Simple as it is. It's cloudy, it's going to rain. If it is cloudy, it rains. As a scientific fact, as a general known understanding to us. You open the door, the breeze comes in. If you open the door, the breeze comes in. You throw the ball, it bounces. That's the nature of the ball. If you throw the ball down, it bounces back. So if plus simple present followed by main clause also in simple present. These are the basic conditional clauses of English in terms of if clause. There is also unless clause which we use in type 1. We repeat the statement of type 1, study well, score well. I can write this in two conditions. Condition of if, condition of unless. For if, as we just learned, as we have just come across, if you study well, you will score well. Similar thing I used as unless. Unless you study well, you cannot score well. Make a note here. For if clause, I'm using if you study well, you will score well. Both are positive. Both are positive. I never used a word of not. And so let us use the statement as unless you study well, you cannot score well. The word unless is a negative condition which demands a negative usage of cannot, will not, do not is to be applicable. Hence, today's topic was on conditional clauses. But as a learner, can I just learn only the clauses and keep it aside? Can I use this in my daily usage? And as a student, if I am, where can I use these ones in my examinations? I'll give you a suggestion. If clause is wonderfully used in your descriptions. If you want to visit a good place on this earth, this is the right one. That is one. You can use in diary writing. In diary writing, you have suppositions, right? Regrets. If I had not hurt my brother, he would not have cried today. I use that way in my diary writing. I can also use this in giving a speech. If the country follows this, then we shall have a bright future. So conditional clauses are part and parcel of every writing discourse as well, right? Simple as it is, in formal writing, you would always say, you close your letter to the editor with, if the government follows these things, there will be a bright future for the nation. Thus, let us go back to our learning desks, revise, review the conditional clauses that are dealt today. Keep your types, type 1, 2, 3 and 4, and write your own examples, taking your daily routine. Thank you folks for your valuable time. Keep learning, be part of us, and just please do give a like, share and subscribe, being part as active learners. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you for watching RAVI University YouTube channel.
Please like, share, comment and subscribe.